Hi, welcome again to the Cannes Yachting Festival 2025 and the launch of the Swan 51. What a beauty. It's an iconic model for many reasons. I mean, back in 1981, Swan asked Herman Frers to design his first yacht for Swan. It was the Swan 51. So here we are, 45 years later, with today's version. And I think you can see it's a pretty elegant looking craft. So we've got a chance to have a hop on board here. I think if you asked sailors of a certain generation, anyone growing up, what would be their dream craft? I imagine the most answers you would get would be a Swan 50, a 50-foot Swan of some sort. I mean, it is, a stunning looking vessel. Anyway, apart from the aesthetics, there's plenty to show you on board. So welcome to Vespa. Swan 51 number one for this North European owner who was also the owner of the first Swan 48. And that is relevant for a number of reasons because, the 51 is really replacing that 48 and 48 Mark II. And therefore they had a lot of feedback. Swan had a lot of feedback from 60 plus owners of the 48. And a lot of it revolved around stowage. I don't know if this is something you can tell from here, but you can see against the 55, it's the same freeboard height. So you got a lot more height in the boat, but the volume, you can probably see from this cockpit area, anyone that knows the 48, is massive. This is, again, same size cockpit you get on the 55. The stowage space throughout is massively enhanced. So 35% larger cockpit than the 48, 20% more hull volume, and 80% more sail locker. So 35% more storage overall, 80% more sail locker space. Even the tender garage is much larger. You can fit a 2.8 easily in the tender garage below here, which is transverse. Even a 3 meter, I believe, as well. So access to that in there. Let me walk you forward from here, and then we'll come back and go inside the boat. Anyway, really nice pedestals, designs. These carbon Nautica wheels, custom made for Swan with grips in them, very tactile. Single point main only. You can have a tower winch for that, but they don't do a traveller for this. It's a cruising yacht first and foremost, performance cruising yacht, and designed to be relatively easy to manage and sail by a short-handed crew or couple. Very nice pedestal design. A lot of these features coming from the larger yachts they've done, 55, 58, and right through to them, mini maxi and maxi size yachts. And that is a benefit you'll see throughout the boat, is a yard that has such a big range of yachts, and they're engineering big boat building knowledge filtering through to this, plus of course the owner's feedback. Anyway, the 2 winches, you can see the main sheet winch easily reachable from the pedestals, and then you've got good line stowage running back into this coaming. Another really nice feature is this coaming. Let me show you a better angle of that. So you see the way a big brief to Herman Frers was to keep the coach roof low, and obviously freeboard height helps that, but also to increase cockpit size. You get what they've done on the larger yachts here, so the coaming swells out here, and that's something Leonardo Ferragamo really likes and wanted to have, and the benefit of that is this enormous cockpit space you get. It's also quite tidy because there's a lot of these curves that are followed through the boat. Elegant curves, I would say. Anyway, primary winch further forward. And what's nice about this is that having the head sail sheets, having a really nice lead that come through under here, through the coaming, and both the staysail and Genoa sheets running through that, ready to run. So you see the staysail sheet, the black one there, and the beige one going to the Genoa. That just means that it's ready to clip on and use either sail as much as possible. Again, owner of this boat, very experienced, a lot of his feedback come into this one. Rigs, standard is a Selden aluminium rig or an Axon carbon. This one has a main furl in-boom furling system, which is a really nice Danish system. And the Reckman vang on it. And then another feature you see on the larger yachts here, so that's the curve, the self-tacking staysail rail if you want the self-tacker on it, and then you get this nice big flat area here for putting sunbeds on, sunbed cushions. Ordinarily it'd be a removable staysail here. This one, on a lock, and keep it rigged up, which I think, if you're using staysail a fair bit, it makes a lot of sense because you can put the tension on down low. This has one of these fancy Harken capstans that comes out of the deck at a push of a button, and it's again something you see on the larger yachts. Nice big bowsprit. It's got steel structure in there, so it doesn't need a bobstay on it, and you've got the electric code furler integrated into there as well, and the electric furler for the Genoa. But what I do want to show you is under here, because as I said, that is big feedback was getting more sail locker space. This is 80% larger than the 48. So from this view, you might not think so, but the clever part is they give it the extra length. So today's sails obviously are a lot on furlers, and they're long sausage shapes, so you want the length. So a nice deep sail locker, but it runs right the way forward, so you can get 2 or 3 downwind sails in there if you want. And this one, what helps manage that is by bringing weight off. So there's the bucket for the anchor chain, windlass back here, so that shifted all off, and then you get the length of that sail locker. You've got spare warps and stuff, and a tender end in there. A nice big watertight bulkhead, and there's the forced air, natural ventilation system that runs through the boat. Something a Spartan Stevens design they've had for something like 60 years, that to keep the watertight bulkhead but allow the ventilation through there. Lovely clean deck, and I do think these modern generations of Swan, this is the 4th modern generation Swan from Frers. They do look very nice in dark blue. Here you can see how that combing shape goes out aft here. This has the boom awning on it at the moment, so it really helps cover the cockpit, gives it sunshade here, but you can see where the removable bimini supports go in the deck, so it keeps it nice and flush when you're not using it, and those do dismount and remove and store easily as well. So cockpit table design is really smart. A lot of work gone into that as well, and again from their larger yachts. But what it does is allow for easy access through. So the tables aren't enormous, but they link together to make an enormous area, if that makes any sense. So this shows the tables themselves don't lower down. They have a section in them that do, which keeps it less complicated really. So the actual leaf on the outboard end drops down to fill in to make the sunbed part of it. Both have cockpit lockers as well, but that means so you can do that on either side, so you have a big lounging cockpit area, or when that's raised and you join the tables join together, so then you could seat 8-10 people around those tables. Anyway, it makes it a nice transforming area where you still get a good solid rail, solid tables, which can remove, if you are racing or something. They are low combings, so you definitely want these nice padded backrests to give you a bit of comfort there. And I guess the spray hood's going to do some work as well, because that coach roof is very low. Big life raft locker below us. Let's have a look inside. So again, those who know the 48 will know this nice wide companionway, nice and shallow, signifies a difference coming into this interior as well. So similar layout and done in very handsome swan style. So as all modern swans I think are, it's available in 4 moods. This one, Swan Soul I think it's called. So yeah, nice sort of timeless feel to it. In terms of layout, this one probably makes the most sense, but you can have 2 armchairs there instead. Why does this make more sense? Because that's long enough to sleep on, but you get a proper chart table. This owner's put in a big customized screen there. That would ordinarily be a bookshelf, I believe, but they really wanted to include a proper bookshelf in there. But yeah, having somewhere to work and navigate from obviously makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, yeah, the layout's pretty similar, I think, from the 48. And you get a work cabin as utility cabin as standard aft there, aft port, or like this owner, you can choose to have a starboard double bed in there. So there's a tunnel that separates these 2 aft cabins, gives them there's space for some machinery in there, but also it, you know, separates those cabins a bit in terms of noise insulation. But nice size double. Plenty of headroom height here, natural ventilation, lovely lighting, good storage, galley area. This, you know, is wider here than the 48 was. You get the fridge back there and an optional drop down there. So a good layout for bracing at sea with the inboard sink, and good amount of stowage around it as well. Curved laminated woodwork is just Swan through and through. Really is time consuming, but yeah, shows that class. And this, you can have a proper dishwasher in there as well. There's a tank below me here, water tank I think. Some storage in the bilge there. I wonder if I can get a suck and show you. Lift up the floorboards, and yeah, they run their electrics and things right up high on the bilge stringers, so they're not down in the wet. There is storage below the sofa berths each side. One has an aircon unit. You can have a big drawer in there as well. Nice design here is on this main bulkhead. If I close this door, it's sort of shaped that doorway into it, sort of recess there, makes it feel like a proper entrance going into this master cabin, which you can see is not short on size, and that is, yeah, another big difference. You know, that is a big berth, nice and low down, despite having loads of headroom height in here, and cutaways each side to easily get in and out. Tall wardrobe here with shelves in it, and then the main double wardrobe, the starboard. That there can be a desk area, you know, a vanity desk area. Big hull windows, raised storage throughout there, and there's the ensuite, and that is high. I mean, I don't know, it's that high. If I put my hand up, I haven't got a tape measure, but a very tall Scandinavian would fit in there, no problem. You can see the level of detail, really nice in this. This is just textbook Swan. So there, for example, behind these meshes, there's the natural ventilation that runs right through the boat, and that's got, you know, computers and electronics behind there, so keeping them cool is important. Emergency ladder to go out through the forward hatch. But yeah, plenty of storage. Storage is a big feature on this boat, and I guess any boat of this craft, any yacht of this pedigree and premium pricing, is the devil is in the details. And yeah, they've done a very nice job with the engineering and finishing. That would normally be wood, I believe. I think this owner wanted it clear to see all the main electronics. So yeah, water maker, touchscreen, convert, and then yeah, switches there as well. Nice easy switch panel to access from the companionway. And then the breakers are all below there. This is an option. So this one is a bar below, but yeah, the breakers are behind that. And then that heads, which would be shared by those aft cabins, all act as a day heads. Electronic head as standard. That's facing that way because that you could have a door in there to make that aft starboard cabin an ensuite. And shower compartment in there. It is very, very nicely finished. And then this VIP cabin, I think they call, has a lot more space. You can feel the beam back here. Those can join, but they have nice segregation in them. Again, good natural light, loads of natural light and views and ventilation. And then that's, the tunnel there. There's some machinery there. The gen set, like the 48, is basically under this berth behind the main engine. There's access panels to that engine, and I'll lift up the companionway steps to show you there. But that, that can be a door, as I said, to make that an ensuite. So those bottom 3 curved companionway steps lift on hinges there to access the 80 horsepower Yanmar. Is there a light switch? Probably is. Do I know where it is? No, but you might still be able to see there's the gen set behind the engine there, slightly offset to starboard side. And access panels each side. What a stunning machine. I mean, like any Swan, you want to sail it really. Hopefully you can do that. The fuel tank's much larger now as well, 650 litres where the 48 was 350 litres. So that gives you a lot more range. I guess the owners of these are the best ambassadors. This one seems very, very happy. The owner of this yacht, who did the delivery here in 30 to 35 knots. He says it sails beautifully, less quickly to accelerate in his words, but yeah, just super balanced on the helms. They put the twin rudders slightly further outboard and just got them precision right. Anyway, hopefully we'll be able to see that sometime later this year. Hope you enjoyed the quick tour from Cannes. See you next time.